This is a tutorial on how to effectively and efficiently use a 3-week look-ahead schedule form in Excel. The purpose for this new form is to create a standard that all F&H employees can easily use, read, and understand. What you see in front of you is an example of a completed 3-week look-ahead schedule. There are some built-in instructional notes that could help in case you are confused at any point. The red arrows in the top right of each title cell are indicators that the instructional notes are hidden. To uncover the notes, scroll the mouse over the title cell and the notes will appear. Scroll away from the cell and the notes will become hidden. The cell labeled Procedure will have a summary of each step to complete this form and will also include a link to the video you're watching now. Now let's start from a blank schedule to show you the procedure in order to complete this form. The first step is to enter the job number. Next, enter the date located below job number. This date will be the Monday that is the start of your 3-week period. The date entered is linked and will autofill the dates and the day of the week located in the grids that make up the schedule. The date is set to be entered in the month, day, year format, which is true for all dates entered into this form. Now, we'll proceed to enter the ACT ID that correlates to your specific project. If your construction schedule is linked to this spreadsheet, when you input the ACT ID, it will auto-populate the description and scheduled start. If your construction schedule is not linked or you'd like to input information other than what is on your construction schedule, you can disregard the formulas and type in your own activity ID, description, and scheduled start date. The scheduled start date is linked to the grids that make up the schedule. If the scheduled date corresponds to a day in the grid, it will autofill the cell with a crisscross pattern. Now we'll move on to the start date, duration, and end date. The start date indicates the first day the activity will begin. The duration is the expected number of days the activity will take. It is important to note that this must be entered in the number of days, and the number will only account for the 5-day work week. By inputting the start date and duration, the end date will automatically be calculated, and again will only include the 5-day work week. The end date shouldn't be altered manually for any reason. Therefore, will only change the duration or start date to alter the end date. The last step before rendering and autofill the grids that make up the schedule is selecting the activity type. The options are critical or non-critical. Each option is color-coded and is depicted in the legend above current week. A drop-down menu is used to select the type. To select the type from the menu, click on the arrow to the right of the cell. Then proceed to click on the appropriate type. Once selected, the grids will fill in the dates with the color selected. The start date, duration, and type can be altered afterwards to correct the information, which will automatically change the grid schedule. If you do not have a standard 5-day work week or you have a sub that only works 4 days a week, there are a few steps to fill in the grid manually. First step is to select No from the drop-down menu in the column labeled Standard. This will clear the autofill command and allow you to add color manually. Then to add the color, select the cell of the color you want, right-click, and select Copy. Once copied, select the cells that you would like to add the color scheme to. Right-click, select Paste Special, and in the menu, mark the bubble All Except Borders, and click OK. Repeat these steps to complete the 3-week look-ahead schedule. In addition to the procedure, it is important to know some worksheet formatting and printing techniques. Note there are many ways to complete the same task in Excel. In this tutorial, I'll explain the most straightforward techniques. To delete one or more rows, select the rows from the row number column that you wish to delete. Right-click and select Delete from the menu. It is advised to keep at least 2 empty rows that contain all the original formulas. This will allow you to add rows to your schedule later on with ease. To add one or more rows with the formats and formulas intact, select the number of rows you intend to add, right-click, and select Copy from the menu. Highlight a row, right-click, and from the menu select Insert Copied Cell. Insert Copied Cells is the only option that will allow you to add rows with the format and formula intact. There are a few ways to print this document to assist you in analyzing it. The easiest way to alter what is printed is by the process of hiding and unhiding columns. This is what the document looks like when printed, with all the information included. As you can see, the schedule is small and can be hard to read on an 8.5 by 11 paper. To change this, highlight the columns that are not necessary to you. Right-click and select Hide. Now through the print preview, you can see that the schedule is magnified for ease of reading. To unhide the columns, highlight a section that contains the hidden columns, right-click, and select Unhide in the menu. That concludes this tutorial. Thank you for following along.